What is up, Snarf Gang? It's your boy Snarf Brownie, and today, I know it's been a while since I posted, but I finally finished the Teen Titans Silver Age Omnibus. This one's a bit of a Fatty McFatterson. It collects The Brave and the Bold 54, 60, and 83, Showcase 59 and 75, Teen Titans 1 through 24, and a little thing I didn't know was in there, Hawk and Dove 1 through 6. Now, Hawk and Dove 1 through 6 I'll get to later, but just right now let's talk about the Teen Titans. And the first 3 issues, I thought it was okay. Personally, I think Silver Age runs need like a couple issues to really get going. And another thing is they use a lot of lingo from the 60s that is really not used anymore, and it can be a little bit weird, especially for the first few, but it like kind of tones it down as the series goes on, and it gets better as the series goes on. So for the Teen Titans, you have Robin, Wonder Girl, Kid Flash, and Aqualad. And Aqualad lame as hell, bruh. I'm not gonna lie. He's kind of just there in a lot of the issues, and he does do stuff, but he only has like very specific water-based stuff that he does, and he needs to be in contact with water to like breathe it or something, at least, or rehydrate or whatever. I don't know. At least once every hour, or he literally fucking dies. So he's kind of more of a hindrance to the team than even really that useful, because he's really not even that strong, and all he can do is breathe water and like command fish. I guess he's basically kind of like Aquaman. I don't even think he really can command fish though. He can sort of talk to him, but it's kind of not totally explained. And the only reason I say that is because there's one part that I'm remembering where he was chained up inside of this big cylindrical tower in the ocean or something, and it was slowly filling with water from the outside, and the Loch Ness monster literally swam up in there, and he ended up like convincing it to get him out, right? But he was also terrified, and he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to do it. So that makes me wonder if his powers are like the Deep from the Boys TV show, where he can kind of talk to fish, but he can't really like force them to do anything, or like Aquaman, where he can like psychically command fish. So a bit left a little bit ambiguous. And also, happily, he was phased out later on in the series. Even the writers were like, bro, this guy's so lame. Like, out of all the Teen Titans, he's the only one I don't care for at all. Robin, he's got the zesty short shorts in this series, which can be distracting. No homo. It's just distracting because this dude's just wearing tights like all the time. It's just weird, and it looks out of place. I don't know why that was normal back then. And you know what's funny? Back in the Golden Age Batman days, before the Silver Age started, because that's when the Comics Code really started like being a thing, I'm pretty sure. One of the arguments for there being Comics Code is like they thought Batman was like a pedo, and Robin was like his little twink that he like did shit with. And one of the examples as to why they thought that was because of his outfit. So even back then, the outfit is not really normal. Like, I get what they were going for with the acrobat like sort of fit, but it just looks weird, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Another thing, Speedy, we get to see a lot in this volume. He's not always there, but later, whenever Aqualad does get phased out, he takes his place on the team, and he's a way cooler member than Aqualad, bro. But he does occasionally show up before Aqualad's phased out, where he does a little team up with them, and that's pretty cool. And overall, I think that this omnibus was pretty good. It had some good stories. It usually has stories about troubled youth that the Teen Titans have to, help out, or youths being oppressed by adults in some kind of way, or youths just straight up tweaking and the adults are right, and they have to try to set them on the straight path. Just a lot of stuff involving youths. But that doesn't mean they only do that, but there's also like political activism in this book, which I didn't expect to see. But I don't really care that much for that aspect of it. Most of the time, I think people protesting, holding up signs and shit, that's cringe, and I don't think it really does anything. But That's just me personally. And they do also have some fun sci-fi stories in this. Like there's one with another dimension that they have to deal with that comes back later too. So multiple issues about that. There's this British dude that just steals the scepter that the Queen has. That one's pretty goofy. There's just a whole bunch of fun stories in this. So let me show you guys without the dust jacket on. It just looks like every other Silver DC omnibus. And let me show you guys some art. That's a really nice panel of Robin. This is a Hawk and Dove issue, which I'll talk about right after this. Because Hawk and Dove, I low-key liked it more than the Teen Titans sometimes. Because like in the second half of this omnibus, it starts alternating back and forth between Hawk and Dove issues and Teen Titans issues. And the plot line in Hawk and Dove is kind of crazy. This is a pinup of Wonder Woman when she changes, Wonder Girl when she changes her costume. This is the one that you'll see in the new Teen Titans run, stuff like that. I also got the Bronze Age Omni, so I assume this is what she's wearing in that. You like the old suit more or the new one? I kind of have them tied, honestly. They're both really good. The new one's definitely more unique, set apart from Wonder Woman, though. The old one's kind of derivative. So yeah, that's some of the Silver Age art. As you can see, it did kind of get better as time went on. And now it's time to talk about Hawk and Dove, because that series was fire, bro. I'm not gonna lie. So the way they get their Hawk and Dove are brothers, and they have very different ideologies. Hawk is like a hot-headed guy that's like jumps into action to get shit done. That's what he does, and he doesn't care if he has to bust heads. Yeah, basically Dove, he's like the non-violent one that wants to find peaceful outcomes to situations. And in the first issue, their dad's in trouble, and they're like, I wish I had the power to do something. And then a mysterious voice shows up that's like, I will give you the power to do something. And then anytime Hawk says Hawk or Dove says Dove, they transform into their alter ego. And they're given basically just a low tier strength boost. That's pretty much it. And yeah, their ideologies conflict whenever they're trying to solve crimes, and they constantly fight and bicker over whose ideology's right. And they get put in situations where maybe they're kind of both right, but they need to pick and choose when they use it and very specific ideologies, you know what I mean? And it's just cool because I like how their conflicting ideologies, like sometimes Hawk is actually right and you did need to bust heads to get the outcome, and sometimes Dove's right, where it's like you should have taken the non-violent approach. It's just cool, you know? Like that's the actual kind of political sort of ideology clash that I actually do like in this omnibus, is the Hawk and Dove. It's fire. And there's also high stakes in a lot of them. They're all pretty like action packed, and there's usually somebody gonna die or something if they don't solve whatever it is quickly. It's just sick, bro. And you get a lot more time to focus on the characters of Hawk and Dove too, and their characterizations are really good. With the Teen Titans, you know, certain characters like Aqualad can kind of get pushed to the background, which I'm not complaining or anything, but you know, it does happen in a team book, and because there's just two characters, it's very central around them. That's not a problem in Hawk and Dove. So overall, I'm gonna give the art on this Omni, like, I would say it was a 6 out of 10. The art was not crazy, but I still really liked it. It's classic 60s art. It's nothing like you're gonna see. It's not like you're gonna see some crazy shading or, you know, super dynamic character poses and stuff like that. Like, I'm not saying there's no dynamic character poses, but in terms of what you'd see something like Todd McFarlane draw or something like that, like it's very standard 60 art. Like y'all get the gist of that if you've ever read some Silver Age stuff. In terms of story, I'm gonna rank Hawk and Dove and Teen Titans differently because they literally are just a different series in the same Omni. For the Teen Titans series, I would give it a 7 out of 10 because it's pretty entertaining all the way through once you get past those first 3 issues, and they're not bad, the first 3 issues. They just, with Silver Age stories, they need to fit a lot in a little with the amount of page space that they have. So characters take a while to get good characterization. Yeah, a few issues in a Silver Age run is really whenever the characterization starts getting pretty solid, and that's whenever the characters really start to shine more in their own stories, and you can also put a lot more effort into the good plots and stuff like that. So overall, I'd give that a 7 out of 10. But Hawk and Dove, I'd give that an 8 out of 10. I just think that the characters were more interesting. The dynamics they had between each other was more interesting, and the overall plots had more action in them, which were more exciting. And that's pretty much it. That's my review of the Teen Titans Silver Age Omnibus. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And I'm going to be posting another video soon titled, So You Have an Omnibus Buying Addiction. I'm also going to do a little bit of a show my library a little bit, show how it's grown, and y'all can comment in the comment section below of that what y'all want me to read next. I'll try to get around to it soon. Peace out.